Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Today I wanted to come in here and share with you all my thoughts, my opinions on the products that I pulled last week in the Makeup Basket Monday series. So the first product I want to talk about is the Jeffree Star Beauty Killer palette. So this is what the palette on the outside looks like. I can tell you when I first pulled this palette and I started swatching it, I was like, oh my gosh, this palette has amazing pigmentation. It looks beautiful. So here's what the inside of the palette looks like. I still think it looks like a beautiful, beautiful palette. However, I feel like there are some colors in here that just don't work that great, to be honest with you. I feel like Rich Bitch is not a great shade, to be honest with you. I feel like you can't build that up enough to where you get that really bold pop of gold. It swatches amazingly, but when you put it on your eyes, it just doesn't pay off like it should. Like in my opinion that it should. I put it on my center of my lid and I feel like there's just not quite enough payoff. Now, Black Rainbow is really good. I feel like Courtney's really good. White China's really good. Vanity's good. Confession is okay. Confession's another one of those. I feel like it's kind of hard to get a good pigmentation out of it. Like you swatch it and they swatch, like I say, amazingly. But for some reason, when you put this on your eyes, they just don't show up. And I tried different types of eye primers with it. I thought maybe it was because I had pulled the, let me try to find the primer that I pulled last week. I thought maybe it was because I had pulled the Essence primer. So I went to my old standby, which is the MAC Pain Relief Paint Pot. I'm sorry, the box is a little bit noisy. I went to my MAC Pain Relief Paint Pot. I went to this, and it's still, I just couldn't get a good pigmentation out of some of these colors. I feel like for the value that I paid for this palette, which was $22, I feel like it's definitely worth that. However, if you purchase this at full price, I don't recommend purchasing it at full price. I don't think you get enough shades in here that are absolutely amazing. Now, I feel like this pink is really, really good. I think pink is one of those shades that's kind of hard to like get exactly right. And I feel like this pink is actually absolutely amazing. I feel like the blue is really good, which is the expensive. I feel like Star Power, expensive, Princess, Violence. I feel like China White. I feel like all of them are good except for Rich Bitch and Confession. Rich Bitch and Confession to me just, they're not that good, to be honest with you. I was expecting so much better quality, especially out of a product that I've heard so much out of. But for me, I just feel like they're okay. I'm going to definitely keep the palette because I do like the pink, because I feel like that pink is a beautiful, beautiful shade. Really love that shade right there. And I love this expensive shade right here, the blue. I love that shade on my lid. I love it on the lash line too, or not the lash line, but the bottom lash line. I love it in both places, the way that it looks on my skin. I think it's an absolutely amazing color. However, I feel like I said, I feel like some of the shades in there just didn't quite live up to what I thought that they should, to be honest with you. The next product is this Laura Geller makeup. This is the Dream Creams Concealer. It's a highlighter palette and it's the shade Regular Tan. Now, honestly, I don't know if I really like this palette, to be honest with you. This little thing right here, I feel like it's just okay. I feel like it's not one of those things that I honestly would ever repurchase, to be honest with you. I feel like the creams don't blend that well on my skin. I feel like it's kind of loose in the pan. I feel like every time I move it, I feel like I hear something, like you can feel it jiggling in there a little bit. So for me, I would never purchase another one of these, to be honest with you. I don't like the way it looks under my eyelids. It's a creamy formulation, yes, but it doesn't really, I don't know. It's something about it when you put it on under your eyes, I don't think it quite sets well enough. I feel like it just looks okay. I feel like it doesn't really set well enough. So for me, I wouldn't purchase another one of these, but I'm not going to trash this one just because I will use this for like on the go type of thing because it's good for that. I just don't think it's like one of the best quality concealers I've ever tried, to be honest with you. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to hold on to it just because it's a newer product. So maybe it just needs to be played with a little bit more. This is a newer product to my collection. So maybe it just is one of those things, the more you play with it, the more you mess with it, the more better it's going to be. I don't know. But right now, actually, I'm kind of on the fence about it. If I play with it a little bit more over the next month and I still don't like it, it's getting taken out of my collection because I'm not going to keep it if I don't love it, even though right now I feel like I'm not really loving that much. So for now, it's going to stay though. The next product is the RCMA, the original no color powder. So this is 3 ounces of powder, but I can tell you honestly, I've tried lots of powders and I think what I'm going to do soon is like a powder showdown. But I feel like I've tried lots of powders and I feel like this is an excellent powder for an excellent value. You get 3 ounces for $12. How can you beat that price? It's absolutely amazing. I don't like the packaging to it. I think the packaging is a little bit weird because it looks like a season. Like if I wouldn't know better, I'd start putting this on my chicken or something and that's not a good idea. So, but I feel like this is a really great product. I just need to find a container to put this in. Then I think I'm going to love it even more. But this is a really, really good one where it doesn't crease under my eyelids, under my on my eyes. It doesn't crease on me. I feel like it just looks really, really good. I think it's an excellent product for dry skin. If you have dry skin and you have trouble like setting your makeup, I feel like this is an excellent one. I feel like you would absolutely love it. So definitely check this out. And it's for $12. Like I said, for 3 ounces, you get a ton of product. That's going to take you a long time to go through. The next product is the Maybelline Fit Me. This is the Dewy and Smooth foundation. Honestly, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't like this foundation. I think it's okay. I don't think it's that dewy. Not for me with my dry skin. So this is something that's actually getting taken out of my collection. So I'm not going to keep this. This is actually getting tossed. I'm not keeping it because I feel like for my dry skin, I feel like it didn't have enough coverage, first of all. For my dry skin, I don't feel like it was dewy enough. I just didn't like the way it felt on my skin, to be honest with you. So for me, this is a no. I know that plenty of people love that foundation, but for me, I'm not keeping it because I don't absolutely love the way it looks on my skin. And foundation is one of those things that I have to love it because it covers so much surface of your face that that's not something that you can hide. Well, that, you know, like if you have a foundation that accentuates your dry skin, or if you have a foundation, if you have oily skin and it accentuates the oiliness, you don't want to keep those foundations. That's me with this one here. I feel like it doesn't really do anything that's beneficial for my skin, so not keeping it. The next product is the Tarte Skinny Smolder Eyes, and this is in the shade Emerald. I really do like the way this looks on my eyelids. I like to use it as what is it called? Tight line. I like to tight line with it, but I don't like wooden pencils. So if I ever think if I was going to purchase these again, I wouldn't purchase the wooden type. I'd purchase the plastic type because the wooden type, I don't know if you guys saw in the video on my Get Ready With Me, I scratched my eyelid with it and that really, really hurt. So just make sure you keep these sharp. I do like it. I like the color. I think the color is really pretty, but honestly, I won't purchase any more of that type. The next one is, actually maybe it was this one too. This one might have scratched me. I think it might have been. This is the Urban Decay. This is also a wooden one. I don't like these wooden pencils. For some reason, I feel like they scratched me. And it's because I'm not responsible enough to keep them sharpened. So I know it's my own fault. However, just make sure that you do that. Make sure you keep them very well sharpened, because if not, then you're going to have an issue with them. Now for both of those, I was going to say too, this one here I feel like is good for like your lash line. I don't feel like this is good for your tight lining, because tight lining I feel like it bled a little bit. However, the Urban Decay 24/7, you can definitely tight line with this one. So if you're looking for a good tight liner, I feel like the Urban Decay 24/7s are really good for tight lining. I feel like this one's better for like the lash line if you want to put it on your lower lash line. And then you've got the little smudger on the end so you can smudge it out some, so it looks really, really pretty. So I'm gonna keep both of those because I love colored eye pencils. That's one of my favorite things, is to have colored eye pencils. So those are staying in my collection. The next thing I have is the Physicians Formula Butter Blush. And here is the shade Plum Rose. And then here is the shade Natural Glow. So honestly, one of these is staying and one of these is going. So I'm actually going to keep Plum Rose because Plum Rose looks really, really good on my skin. It's one of those blushes that you can build it up to a certain extent, but it doesn't build beyond, like, it doesn't build up to like a, I don't know. You can't get a whole lot of pigmentation out of it is what I'm trying to say. But you can get a little bit. I mean, you can barely even see that right now on my hand. This is good for, like, if you just want a little bit of color onto your cheeks, but you don't want that boom color on your cheeks. This is perfect for that. I love the way it smells. I think it's really, really good. So I'm definitely keeping the Plum one. However, I'm getting rid of the Natural Glow one. This one here I'm not keeping because I don't like it. I don't like the way it looks on my skin. I thought I could probably use it as a highlighter, but honestly, it doesn't even work that good as a highlighter. It's just, it's okay. It's not that good. Right here it is right there. I'm not keeping it, so I'm going to pass this along to somebody who maybe would love this more than I do because it just is not working for me. The next thing is the Faced Soulmates palette. This is for the Carrie and Big one. This is what it looks like on the inside. You do get a bronzer part and then a blush part. I absolutely really do love these. I don't know why they kind of got hyped up when they first came out and then nobody really talked about them anymore. I really love mine. I think the bronzer is really pretty. I think the blush is really, really pretty. So both of these I feel like are very, very gorgeous. However, I just feel like nobody really talks about them anymore. I feel like that's one of those things that people hyped them up when they first came out. Like a lot of things on YouTube, and then after they were out for a little while, nobody really talked about them anymore. I love mine. I would love to have the Ross and Rachel one too. That's the one I really would love to, because they're both beautiful, and both of those characters, the Carrie and Big and then Ross and Rachel, they're like iconic characters, so I'd love to have the Ross and Rachel one. The next product is the Jeffree Star. This is the Jeffree Star, what's it called? I don't know. the Velour liquid lipstick. So here's the Velour liquid lipstick, and this is in the shade Sagittarius. So let me swatch it for you real quick. So there's what it swatches like. I can tell you, if you're looking for something similar to this and you do not want to purchase from Jeffree Star, because I know a lot of people have issues with Jeffree Star, I feel like you could purchase the Wet n Wild liquid cat suits and you could get almost the same exact thing. I feel like the formulation is very, very similar. I feel like the wand's very, very similar. I feel like the tube, like the bottle itself, is very similar. I feel like there's so many similarities that it's almost a little bit weird. It's like, whoa, why these are so very similar. I don't know if I have one here. Let me see if I have one in my drawer here in front of me. I've got all my makeup sitting in here. I don't see one offhand. No, I don't see one. But anyway, if you have the Wet n Wild liquid cat suits, I feel like they're very, very similar. If you can get a hold of the liquid cat suits and you don't want to purchase these, that's what I would do, honestly. I don't think there's anything wrong with this product, to be honest with you. I just don't feel like you should have to shell out the money if you don't want to and you don't want to support Jeffree. I know a lot of people don't want to support him, and that's fine. I just think that you can definitely dupe this with the Wet n Wild. The next thing is the e.l.f. Makeup Mist and Set. So this is a very, very good setting spray. I feel like it's very hydrating. I love the way it works on my skin. Is this the same one I was supposed to have? I think I might. Nope, this is the wrong setting spray, y'all. That got stuck in there. Here's my setting spray over here. I was wondering. I'm like, I feel like I just reviewed that. This is the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water. So this is a silicone-free, alcohol-free, oil-free setting spray. So you can use this to prime your skin. You can use this to set your makeup. You can use this to refresh your makeup. I really do love this, but for some reason this smells like a little bit clay-like. I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like I smell like a little bit clayish smell in this. It's not bothersome, however, but I just not fond of that scent, to be honest with you. It doesn't last on your skin, so if you're concerned about that, it won't last on your skin. So in that aspect, I think we can all deal with it. But I do like the way it hydrates my skin. I do like the way it makes my makeup look. I like the way that it makes my makeup kind of melt into my skin and not look so cakey. I absolutely love this product, and it's definitely staying in my collection. The next product is the First Aid Beauty Coconut Skin Smoothie Priming Moisturizer. So this is another coconut face primer. So it reminds you of Too Faced, the Too Faced Coconut or the Hangover RX. Honestly, if I was going to tell you to purchase one over the other, I feel like this one's definitely cheaper. I think this is like $28, I'm thinking. And then the Too Faced is like 30 something. But if you were going to purchase one over the other, I honestly would recommend the Too Faced. I like the way that that one feels better. I like the way that that one smells better. This one's just okay for me. It's just, it smells like suntan lotion, first of all. It doesn't smell like that natural coconut, which at first I was like, you know, I like this better. I like the one that smells a little bit more like suntan lotion. But the more you use it, the more I'm just like, nah. It's got too much fragrance to it. So I think for me, and I don't even know if fragrance is listed on here, but I can definitely tell that there's an absolute fragrance in there. So for me, I'm going to pass on purchasing a full size of this. But since this is a sample size, I'm going to continue to use it up. And then once it's gone, it's gone. I will not purchase a full size of that. The next thing is the Benefit Ka-Brow. So here's what the Ka-Brow looks like. It does have a little tip up here to put your brows on with, which works good. I don't like the length of the little wand though. I wish this wand was just a little bit longer. I feel like it's kind of hard to work with. I have giant hands, so me and my giant hands and this little tool, I feel like I'm like, I don't know, it feels like a Barbie tool. But it works, and I love the way it looks on my eyebrows. I like that this is not a very moussey type of texture. I like that this is a little bit more stiff, so you can blend it out better and it doesn't kind of like smear onto your eyebrows. You don't get that. I think the Anastasia Brow Wiz, not Brow Wiz, but the Dip Brow, maybe it's Dip Brow. I think that's what it's called. That one for some reason doesn't work well for me because I feel like I put it on and it's just too buttery smooth, I think. So it just makes my eyebrows look a little too painted on, whereas this one looks a little bit more like brow hairs. I absolutely love this. I'm definitely keeping it. The next product is the Stila Huge Mascara and the Lancome Hypnose. I told you guys I was going to pair these together and see how they worked, and honestly together they worked great. So I'm going to keep both of them and then use them up. I don't recommend the Lancome Hypnose. I do recommend the Stila Huge. I think the Stila Huge is absolutely amazing. The Lancome Hypnose has too much of a fragrance to it, and I didn't see much lengthening or volumizing. So for me, it's a pass on the Lancome and a definite keep on the Stila, but I'm going to keep both of them and use them up, kind of use them together. And the last thing in here is the Kat Von D Tattoo Liner, and this is in the shade Trooper. So this is her typical black liner. I absolutely love this. If you have trouble creating like a line on your lid, this is something that's really, really helpful to use. I still cannot do a wing liner though, so couldn't do that very well at all. However, I feel like if you are really good at doing wing liner, I think this is going to make it even easier. I love this little product here. But if you want a drugstore dupe, I feel like if you get the Jessie's Girl, I feel like it's a complete dupe. I feel like they dupe each other out very, very well. So if you're looking for an affordable option, I would pick up the Jessie's Girl. So that is it for the makeup basket, for everything that's in there for now. Now I'm going to go ahead and pull the products that are in. Sorry guys, I'm trying to adjust here because all my products are over here and I don't want to drop them all. So the next product is everything that I'm going to be using for the next week. So here is my makeup basket. Ooh, I think I just broke something. Gosh, I hope not. Anyway, so I need to readjust. Sorry guys. Oh my gosh. I almost literally just fell out of my chair. Here we go. Sorry guys. I have to readjust myself because I was afraid I was going to drop everything over here, and then I was afraid that y'all couldn't see me. I felt like I was like one of those little, what is the guy's name from Home Improvement? Mr. Wilson. I feel like I was Mr. Wilson, like peeking over the fence at you guys. Hey guys, that's what I felt like. So anyway, now let's get readjusted here. Let's talk about the products that I'm going to be using for the next week. So since the new Lorac palette has come out, it's I think it's called the Brunch Pro palette or something like that. I thought I'd go ahead and pull out my Sephora Pantone Universe palette. So if you guys have this palette also, then we can kind of work on this together. And then we can kind of see what kind of looks we can create with it. I know when this first came out, a lot of people were like, I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that. Those are too pastel-y. And then now this new Lorac Brunch palette has come out and everybody's like, yeah, I'm buying that. Really? I'm not sure what the difference is, but okay. So I'm going to be playing with this week and then see what kind of looks I can create with it. It's a very springish palette, which it's not spring here yet, but we can wishful think, right? And the next thing I'm going to be playing with is the Wet n Wild Fergie. This is the Center Stage collection, and it's the shade Carnival in Rio. So here's what the packaging looks like, and here's what the product itself looks like. It looks really orange in the pan, but when you put it on, it's not so orange. It's a little more, I don't know, it's a little bit more muted, so we'll have to see how good that works. If it doesn't work, then it's leaving my collection. The next product is something from LA Colors. This is the LA Colors Browy Wowie. It's a brow pencil. So I wanted to try this out and see how comparable this is to the the Anastasia one. Because it's got the actual triangular tip. So I want to see how good this is. I feel like it's pretty good so far. But I'll have to test it some more and then let you guys know. It does have a little spoolie on the end also, which is really, really helpful. And I think that was only like $1 when I purchased that, honestly. It's been a while. It's been in my collection. That's what happens. You get so many things in your collection and you just kind of like put them to the side and you use your favorites. You forget that these might be amazing. The mascara I'm going to be using this week is the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. So here's what it looks like. I'm sure you guys have seen this all over YouTube. I have a lot of deluxe size mascaras, which for me is fine. I don't mind having a couple of the deluxe size mascaras open at the same time. So it works for me. As for concealer, I'm using, this is going to be for like my face, for like my blemishes on my skin. This is the Dermablend Professional Cover Cream. So this is what I'm going to be using this week for my skin. I've had this for a while, but honestly, it's all sweaty and yucky, so I'm not even sure it's any good anymore. So we'll have to test it out and see. Don't know if it'll work. The blush palette I'm going to be using this week is the Sephora Blushing For You palette. And it's got 3 different little squares in here, and they're sectioned off in half. So you get, pretty much you get 6 different shades. So you've got a soft pink, you've got a bright pink, and a soft rose. So I'll try that out this week and see how good it is. For foundation, I'm going to be using the Laura Geller Baked Liquid Radiance Foundation with color correcting pigment. So here's the foundation I'm going to be using, and I have the shade Light. So hopefully it's light enough for me because I am very fair right now. For setting spray or complexion spray, I'm going to be using the Urban Decay B6 Vitamin Infusion Complexion Prep Spray. So I have, this is like a 1 ounce container of it. So I don't think this is a full size, but I could be wrong. It might be a full size. I have no idea. I just know it's been in my collection for a little while. So I kind of want to use it and either figure out if I like it or if I don't, and then either keep it or let it go. The primer for my eyelids I'm going to be using this week is the Balm Put a Lid on It. This is the eyelid primer from the Balm. I haven't played with this too much, to be honest with you, and I've heard actually people talking really good things about it, so I want to play with it a little bit more and see if I like it or if I don't like it. I don't know. It's been in my collection and it's just like sitting there. As for one of my lip products I'm using this week, it's the LA Colors Pout Lip Gloss. It's a matte lip gloss. It's actually what's on my lips right now. And this is the shade Let's Kiss. So it's a perfect, pretty pink color. I should have worn this on Valentine's. That would have been perfect for Valentine's. Let's Kiss. Okay, the next thing I have is a under eye corrector. So it's the IT Cosmetics Your Skin But Better CC Eye. I'm not sure if you guys have ever tried this before. This is a CC cream for your under your eyes, and it has SPF 50 in it. So I don't know. We'll have like a little wave going on under here. We'll have to try this out this week and see how good it is. I haven't used this for a while, to be honest with you. It's one of those things that, like I said, just getting put into my collection and I don't play with it. That's the whole reason behind this whole series. The next product is the CoverGirl Flamed Out Shadow Pencil. So here's the little shadow pencil. I figured this would be perfect to use with the palette that we're trying out this week, the Pantone palette. It's just a really pretty pastel blue. So there's what it looks like right here. So I'm excited to play with that. See if I can show you better again. I was afraid I was going to mark myself. So there's the blue, what it looks like. I just think that might work really well with that palette. The other lip shade that I'm going to be working with this week is the Balm I'm a Good Kisser. What the heck? These would have been perfect for Valentine's. I'm a Good Kisser. So here's what that shade actually looks like. So we'll have to try that out and see how good it is. I'm not sure. It's been a while since I played with that one. It may not even be any good anymore. And the last product that I'm going to be working with this week is the Sonia Kashuk It's Laid on the Lawn eyeliner palette. So this is an actual eyeliner palette. So if you've ever seen one of these, it's like a powder eyeliner palette. So you've got tons of different shades in here. Well, not tons. You've got quite a few shades in here that you can use for eyeliner. So I'm hoping that it'll work with the Pantone palette because you've got a typical black, you've got a gray, a brown, a green, a purple, and a blue. So different choices to choose from this week for eyeliners. So anyway, that is everything that I'm going to be using this week. If you stay tuned to next Monday, I will tell you guys how everything worked out and let you know what's going to be staying and what's going to be leaving my collection. So this week, I got rid of 2 items. I got rid of the Maybelline Fit Me Dewy and Smooth foundation, and then also the Butter Blush in the shade Natural Glow. So both of these are actually leaving my collection. So that is it for this week. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know, are you doing a similar thing with your makeup? Are you doing like a makeup basket, like pulling your items and just kind of trying them out again and finding out what you love and what you don't love? Let me know how it's going for you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, I'll catch you guys later.